Từ đó là chương trình của Singapore đó mà mình là đó học lực cấp 1 và đã học mặt tiền mặt đô đó để mà học thực hành. Cô bác bố cô chuyên luôn. Yeah. Ủa, em nhận năm ở sáng thôi luôn tục tại đây luôn.
All right, so very good morning, everyone. Welcome to lesson 9 using electricity. Last lesson we talked about the different type of diagram, different type of circuit, series, and parallel. Today we can look into how electricity comes about, how do we make one, and what are some of the safety tips in to use the electricity safely. All right, so we are at lesson 9 now. So I look at some of your homework that I give you last lesson. It's quite interesting because like as mentioned earlier, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just based on your imaginations. So based on this student's Nathan, I think she have 3 different type of diagram here, whereby there's 3 different type of switches here and there. It's a good initiative. Well done. Next up, we have this one of the students, whereby he have 2 switch here. However, my concern for this diagram is that you have 2 switch on this side. That means to say, right, these 2 switch only can control 1 light bulb. What about the rest of the other 3? You see, this if I were to switch on, open this switch, this light bulb goes off. But however, these 3 light bulbs still light up. So maybe the student can look into how to make sure that all the lamp light bulb can go off during the daytime to save electricity. Next up, I have this diagram here. I can see that there's a lot of light bulb around the house. It is quite bright. There's no right or wrong answer, just that based on imaginations. But I see one switch here, so we need to say if I were to switch off this switch here, means all the light will go off. But however, I see there's an opening here and an opening here, which means to say that there is a open circuit, means that the circuit is open, means there's no flow of current. So all these things, make sure that when you draw your diagram, right, you draw it very nicely, and don't leave any gap in between. Because if you leave any gap in between, the teacher might think that it is an open circuit, hence mark you wrong for this kind of error. All right, let's carry on. So now today we're look into how do we use them? Where does electricity come from? All right, so let's carry on then. Okay, I'll just clear the feedback first. All right, so okay, let's carry on then. So we know that this electricity is all around us, okay? Whether it's our bedroom lamp, our favorite gaming PS5, PS4, or the fridge that hold our favorite snack, everything need electricity, all right? Nowadays, our life cannot go without them, okay? This day, this electricity also power our cars, and you know that this electricity is in different form like cold, water, solar, wind, nuclear, hydro, and solar. So all these things are types of electricity that we are using every day. But have you ever wondered how does this electricity come to our house? So this thing is actually a secondary energy source that we get from the conversion of other source of energy such as coal, gas, oil, and nuclear power. So coal, gas, oil, nuclear power, they are known as primary sources, okay? And primary sources can be renewable or non-renewable, depends on the type of things that they use. However, electricity is neither, all right? We use coal, gas, oil to make electricity, all right? Next up. So how does this electricity works? As mentioned earlier in the past lessons, electricity travel in a closed circuit, all right? It has to be a complete path before the electron can move through it. So just now you see some of the homework being submitted. So one of the diagram have opening in the circuit. Therefore, when you have opening in a circuit, it is not a complete path. Electricity cannot pass through. All right. So when you switch on a light by flipping the switch at the house, you close the circuit. When you close it, we need to say that electrons can flow through it. Therefore, whatever things that connected can be light up, or you can use it. All right. So electricity flows from the electrical wire through the lamp example and back to the wire again. And this concept applies to all the appliances like TVs, PS5, or charging of iPhone. When you turn them on, you close the circuit to flow through the wires and power them. Okay? Some sources of electricity. So where do we get this electricity? Well, there's many types in the world, but we look into some of them. The first, most traditional, oldest type is coal. So this will smelt into a fine powder that's blown into a combustion of chamber of a boiler and burned at a high temperature. This will generate is transported in a high voltage through the power line grid. So by the time we reach our house, this is transformed down to a safer 100 to 250 voltage system. All right, this is some example of cold. Then next thing is wind. Wind is everywhere on this planet Earth, all right? So this wind is renewable and it's harnessed the energy generated by the wind through the wind turbine that convert it into electricity. So wind turbine work the opposite way that fans do. Instead of using to create wind turbine use wind to create electricity, all right? The wind will then turn a blade which spins and connected to a generator that produce electricity. The third source of electrical energy is nuclear. I believe that you have heard seen the news about Japan nuclear power station. All these things, yeah. So they are using nuclear. Nuclear energy comes from energy in the core of an atom. Power plant use a process called nuclear fission to split the atom to create energy. So after talking about the sources, the renewable source like wind and non-renewable like coal, how does this electricity get to our home? Well, I mean, for us, when we switch on the switches, we can use our appliances, use laptop, use the fridge, use the TV to enjoy ourselves, or switch on the aircon to have cool air in our home. But how does all this thing being powered? Well, there's a lot of ways that electricity can come from anywhere and how we get our energy from. Some companies generate the electricity they sell using the power plant they own. So regardless of how electricity came from, I'm sure that there will be a company that's responsible to supply this power to your house. And every month, your parents should be paying a bill to paying the power bills to the companies. As of how the company is going to pass you or supply this electricity. Some companies have their own power plants, while others other buy this power from other companies or power marketers just to get some profit on it. So in short, right, this electricity comes to our house through a company or known as a supplier. Just by the way, is a main supplier or a secondary supplier. Main supplier meaning to say I own a power plant, I sell you the power based on the plant or based on the power that I make. Whereas secondary means to say that I buy the power from the main supplier and I sell it to you at a higher price, something along this line. So this is how electricity gets to your house. Okay, so next up. So this power company, how they supply you power from their power plant. So the electricity the power plant generated, right, is delivered to the consumer over transmissions and distribution power line. So this complex system, right, is sometimes known as the grid that involves the substation, transformer, and power lines that connect the producer and the consumer. I believe in Vietnam, the grid contains 1,000 miles of high voltage power line, all the power line you see outside, and millions of low power lines with transformer that connect thousands of power plant to millions of customers across the country. So high voltage power line are hung between two metals power that are able to carry electricity over long distance, whereas lower voltage electricity is transmitted through transformer, which increase or decrease the voltage to adjust the different stage of journey from the power plant to your house or businesses. So this is how the electricity being delivered from the power plant. As you can see the picture here, the wind turbine, the line all the way to your house. All right. There are other sorts of electrical at home, such as solar panels or mini hydro. These two are the simple source that you can purchase or make at home. All right. So let's recap what we learned last lesson. I believe that you remember that we learned about two different type of circuit. One is a series circuit is made by connecting the end of one devices to another like this. One way journey. Parallel circuits is circuit the same terminal of both devices. They are connected together. All right. Let me just illustrate one important segment of electricity that most students cannot catch on the concept of parallel and series arrangement. Let's take an example of a girl and a boy as a light bulb. All right. So now instead of drawing a light bulb, we draw a boy and a girl. All right. Take the battery known as the sushi chef that supply only one plate of sushi at any time. The wire, let's take it as a conveyor belt. I believe you went to all the sushi restaurant, right? You see the conveyor belt transporting the sushi to your table, something like that. So a series circuit, the loving boyfriend and girlfriend will sit beside each other and they share a plate of sushi. So each person will get half a sushi. So this battery is like a chef. Chef make one plate of sashimi. This sashimi travel through the wire to reach the boyfriend and girlfriend. Each of them cut the sashimi into half. You take half, I take half. All right. That's why when you see that's why when you see that when there's too many light bulb in one's in a series circuits, the light bulb will go dimmer and dimmer because they share whatever that's given. So now I have two person. I have to share one plate of sashimi. Each person get half of the sashimi plate. All right. Now, when a boyfriend and a girlfriend quarrel each other, they don't want to sit together each other already. Now they want to separate together. So now you see they separate already, like this. Each person will get one plate of sushi because the chef here, the battery, will make one plate for the girlfriend and make another plate for the boyfriend. So do you think they want to share their sushi? No, of course not, because they get one sushi each. And the different color, the pink and the yellow, shows a different pathway. So they weren't going to share with each other because I have one plate, you have one plate, you sit there, I sit here. So that's why you can see that for parallel circuit, right, all of them get the equal share of one plate instead of half of it. All right, so now let me have some volunteers. A, B, C, D. Which one is the brightest? Which one is the dimmest? Any volunteers? No one? Oh, yes. How do I? Okay. Hi, good morning.
Yes, good morning, teacher.
Yes, morning. So, what is which of A, B, C, D, which one is the brightest?
I think it's number is C.
C is the brightest?
Yeah, because
Okay,
they was in a parallel, and if and the light will bright at the same brightness. They don't get dimmer.
okay. What about any other people have a different answer? The answer actually D is the brightest because we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bear in mind that students, some students are being confused here. All right, in this case, right, my light bulb is here, my battery is there. So at any point of time, only one group is being given. So D, I have 1 here, 2, 3, and 4. Because this battery is split into parallel. So 1, 2, 3, 4. D is the brightest because D have 4 batteries. Followed by B. B is the second brightest because there is 3 battery here. All right. Next up, A, because there's 2 batteries, and lastly, C is one battery. Don't get confused, all right? If the parallel arrangement is with the batteries, only one battery are being used at any point of time. All right. So in this case, right, even though I have 4 lines here, 4 battery, but only one battery are being used at any point of time because there's only one complete path. Same thing here, even though there's 4 battery here, but only 2 makes a complete circuit. As mentioned earlier here in the sushi plate, traveling only 1. In this case, and one battery completing a circuit, so traveling only one only. Therefore, answer is DBAC. All right, let's carry on. We also talk about the brightness of the light bulb in the past lesson. So let me just recap the theory with you guys. How do we increase the brightness of the light bulb? The step one, we can increase the number of batteries in a series. To increase the brightness, we can increase the battery being used. So to make the light bulb shine more brightly, we place more battery in the circuit. And the battery must be arranged in a series, meaning to say the positive terminal touch the negative terminal for another battery. This will increase the amount of current flow through the circuit. However, there's one problem here. When you increase the number of battery, you have increased the chances of the light bulb being blown or being spoiled, because there's too much current the light bulb cannot handle. So the most typical number of batteries for a circuit is either 3 or 4, depending on the light bulb. Any experiment of the circuit diagram that had used more than 5 battery, the light bulb definitely goes off. All right, so in experiment, the most safe way is using 3 or 4 batteries. The brightness you can go is only 4 battery in a classroom environment setting. All right. Next up. The second thing is to increase the number of bulbs in a series. So if you were to increase the battery, the light bulb will go brighter and brighter. But if you were to increase the number of bulbs in a series, the light bulb will get dimmer and dimmer, because as mentioned earlier, each light bulb will share the current. Just like the example I showed earlier about a boyfriend and girlfriend, when they sit together, they share one plate of sashimi. So as more light bulbs sit together, they share more current. Each person will get lesser and lesser of the sushi. So for the bulb arranged in series in a circuit with a fixed number of battery, the greater number of bulb, the dimmer each of the bulb will be, as the current has to be shared between all the bulb. The keyword here is shared between all the bulb. All right, here. So if one bulb fuses, there will be a gap in a circuit, giving going to say all the other bulb won't light up. So the keyword here is shared between the bulb. And if one bulb fuses, there will be a gap in the circuit, and all other bulbs will not light up, because it will become an incomplete circuit. Circuit that's not complete, current cannot flow through. All right. Some example of the diagram, as mentioned in last lesson, no matter how curvy the wire is, your diagram must be a straight rectangular box. All right, so like you can see here, the real life diagram and the parallel circuit. Now, let's look at the lesson in proper today, after going through what we have learned last lesson. Today, we'll talk about conductors and insulators. I believe that in science, we always come across these two words called conductors and insulators. A materials that allow electricity to pass through is a conductor of electricity. These metals such as steel and iron are good conductor of electricity. It means to say that if you were to put this thing in a circuit, the current, the power can pass through them. All right. However, when we have conductor, you also have insulator. Insulator are material that cannot pass through any electricity. So carbon and water are normal metal that can conduct electricity, but rubber, plastic, and wood, they cannot let electricity pass through. All right, as you can see here, the diagram, we have an insulating ceramic and a metal. When I put the metal here, the power can pass through, the light bulb can be light up. However, when I put a ceramic here, this path is being blocked. Therefore, the light bulb cannot light up. All right, let's carry on. Now, after talking about conductors and insulators, we know that conductor is metal like iron, steel, carbon, water. Insulator is rubber, plastic, wood. So how can we use this electricity safely? All right. I know that this electricity is useful to us in many ways. However, this thing can be very dangerous. It can give us shock or even start a fire. So to prevent such from happening, must observe certain safety precautions when handling these appliances. First thing first, students, never touch any electrical switches or appliances with wet hand, because as mentioned in the previous slide, water is a conductor of electricity. The electricity will pass through your body and give you an electric shock. The presence of small amount of salt in water is what makes it conductor of electricity. Therefore, seawater is a very good conductor of electricity. Do not touch any power switches if your hand is wet. However, pure water, on the other hand, is not a conductor of electricity. So even though I said earlier that water is a conductor, I'm referring to seawater or those tap waters that have salt inside. Pure water is not, because pure water don't have any salt inside. Unless, student, you know that the water you are touching is very pure, else it's best to say that do not touch anything that is electrical power switch if your hands are wet, because you should not assume that the water that you touch is very pure. Therefore, we always must think that water is conductive, and therefore water and electricity should never mix together. This is to protect you at home. All right, students? Next up, do not touch a person who is being electrocuted. Knock him away from the switch or appliances which cause a shock with an insulator. Recently in Singapore, there's one case whereby a male resident is being electrocuted by the water heater in the toilet. His wife wanted to save him, but touched him with try to pull him away by touching him, and in the end, his wife and himself got shot together, and both passed away. So students, the only way to save a person from being electrocuted, as well as to protect yourself, is to make sure that you get a bamboo pole, or you get anything that's wood or rubber or plastic, and try to use that stick or bamboo pole to push him away from the place of shock. This is to protect yourself, because with our hands, we have water in ourselves, in us. At any point of time, if you touch someone that's being electrocuted, you yourself are being shocked as well, because the current will flow through from the person to you. So the only best way is to get a bamboo pole or get a wooden stick or a chair to drag him or her away from the scene of shock. This is a place to save him as well as to save yourself. All right. Third thing, I've seen many of the students, not in Vietnam, but Singapore, one power socket being plugged into multiple plug. Meaning to say, right, one power socket plug into one plug, and the one plug is the multi-extension plug again to another plug. So one power socket have many multi-plug plug together in one place. This may cause overloading. And when there's overloading, it creates heat. When there's heat, it may have risk of being overheated and sparking off a fire. So never ever do a daisy chain, or never ever do any forms of too much socket in one power, so too much plug in one socket. The maximum you can go is either 3 or 2 or 3. Do not go beyond 3. This create a risk of the fire hazard. All right. So after you're going through our conductors, you're going to our insulator, our safety, look at electromagnetism. All right. So what is electromagnetism? This particular electro, by its name, it means to say that we are using electricity to create a magnet. So how is it possible? How can this power create a magnet? Well, when electricity flows through a wire, it creates invisible pattern of magnetism around it. So if you were to twist and turn this particular wire in near the or onto some iron nails, this will cause the iron nail to be temporary magnet. So if you were to place a compass needle near the cable and switch it on and off, you will see that the needle move because the magnetism cable generate causes the movement of the needle in the compass. And this magnetism is caused by changing electricity when you switch the current on and off. So this is a simple diagram that you can do as experiment at home or in school to use how to use power to make a simple magnet. All right. So now, after we go through a simple short overview of how we use power to make magnet, what is the conductor and insulator, and some safety tips, let's look at the power of the electricity. Before the invention of electricity, people have to make energy wherever or whenever they need it. Thus, they have to use wood or coal fire to heat their home or cook their foods. And the invention of electricity changed everything. This will say that energy can be made in one place and supplied over long distance to whichever they need it. So people have no longer worry about making energy for heating or cooking because all I have to do is just to switch on the switch and everything is there to use. So how to keep it simple is like this. Electricity is a common language that all modern appliances speak. You can run a car using energy in gasoline. You can cook a food on a barbecue in your garden charcoal. However, you can actually use electricity to cook your food and run a car. So there's a great beauty of power of electricity that we are using it, and we all have been using it quite a number of centuries already, one or two centuries. So this chapter of using electricity is all about telling you where this comes from, how to protect yourself, how to use it safely, etc. With that, right, I have little homework for you guys. Let's look at the video in the next slide. So let me just go through the homework first. Okay, so listen to this video for the homework and we'll carry on the lesson. Hang on. There's some error here. Hold on. Okay.
Now for your task. Now for your task. You'll need to record a video explaining what you've learned about where electricity comes from. Show your creativity. Use your own words and make it interesting. Next, in your video, provide 3 examples of how you use electricity safely at home. Remember, safety is crucial when dealing with electricity. It might be as simple as not using electrical devices near water to avoid electric shocks, or turning off lights and unplugging devices when they're not in use to prevent overheating and save energy. Once is ready, it's time to share your knowledge with the world. Upload your video to the NECN Facebook group. Don't forget to tag Teacher Andrew in your post. He's looking forward to seeing all your videos and learning about your safe electricity practices at home. Your task involves learning about the source of electricity, recording a video about it, and demonstrating safe electricity use at home. Then you'll upload your video to the NECN Facebook group and tag Teacher Andrew. Remember, knowledge is power, and in this case it's electric power. So get curious, stay safe.
Okay, so basically, right, what I'm trying to do is basically your homework will be recording a video clip about explaining how the power get to your house. Next thing, also explain to me 3 examples of using the power safely at home. Upload them to the NCSN Facebook page, tag me inside. I will comment on it when I see it. All right. Let's carry on the lesson in proper. So hold on, let's carry on the lesson.
And have fun with.
All right, so let's carry on with this now. So what is an appliances? Appliance is a device or a piece of equipment or an instrument designed to perform a task. For example, a washing machine is an appliances which perform a task of washing clothes. Thermometer is an appliances which perform a task of taking temperature. And there are two types of electricity. One is the main and one is the battery power. So to use this type of main electricity, we have to use a plug and plug into a socket, all right? Yes, I saw some hands. Yes, Ruby, yes? You raise your hand. Any questions?
No.
Nope. Okay, let's carry on then. So main electricity is basically those plug that's plugged into a power socket, they are main, whereas battery is basically those that are using battery to power the appliances, okay? In the world we live in, main electricity is produced by gas, coal, or nuclear power station, wind turbine, hydroelectricity, solar panel power station are being used to generate electricity. Then we have this power station generating a continuous electric current from the plant all the way to the home. All right, as you can see in the diagram here. Okay. And batteries, however, store the chemical inside that produce a current. They will stop working when the chemicals stop being able to produce a current. All right. Now, look at this diagram now. I want some volunteer to tell me why is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and hazard. Any volunteers to tell me, to share with us why is it dangerous? Any volunteers? Yes, good morning to you.
Yeah, teacher Andrew.
Yes, why is
Yeah. I think number one is dangerous because she's standing on a chair that's not safe enough for her because she might fail.
all right? You are very good. Yes, correct. Number one is dangerous because it's standing on a chair. However, you look at the chair below here, there's wire going past through the chair. Imagine if she were to trip and fall, when she fell down, the chair also topples and it pull up the plug here. It might cause some power surge, etc. That might break the circuit. So number one is very dangerous. Next up, yes, Stella, a very good morning to you.
Hi, Teacher Andrew.
Hi.
So I think that number 4 is also dangerous because the cat is chewing on the wire, which can probably make the wire cut off, and then the electricity lines come out, and that cat may got electric.
Yes, correct. So number 4 is dangerous because the cat is biting on a wire. And imagine that if you are using the wire, the plug is switched on, there's current flowing through, the cat might be barbecued. So it's very dangerous. So let's have another volunteer for 2, 3, 5, and 6. Let me get another volunteer here. Yes, Ruby, a very good morning to you.
Number 6 is also really dangerous because here the plug is into
Sorry, I can't really hear you, Ruby. Can you speak a bit louder?
Number 6 is also dangerous because there are a lot of wires plugged together in one outlet. They may create a spark and make a fire.
You are referring to number 3, is it? Yes, number 3 is dangerous because
Hey,
the
it's number 6.
sorry, number 6.
No, it's number 6.
Okay, yes, number 6 is dangerous because there's so many plug in this socket. This will cause overheating and there's a fire may come out because due to the heat. All right, very good. So we have done 1, 4, and 6. Any volunteers to do 2, 5, and 3? Good morning, Ben. Yes, good morning, Ben. Can I? Nope. Then if you know, I will skip to another person. Yes, good morning, Lily, good morning. Give me why 2, 5, and 3 are dangerous. Just choose one.
But I think 2 is dangerous because there is a fish tank on top and a candle. Imagine if all of them fall down and the TV will get broken. And if someone touches it, then they can get an electric shock.
Very good. As mentioned earlier in the lesson, water is a conductor of electricity. So this fish tank is on the TV, and I don't know how it got there because the TV nowadays is very slim. So it can topple and water can just spill on the TV. If someone will touch the TV, he or she might get electrocuted. Another volunteer will tell me 3 and 5. Why 3 and 5 is dangerous? Yes. Good morning. No, not this one. William. Good morning, William.
I think number 3 is dangerous because if the bottle have water, so it can fall down and the water will go into the laptop and make it broken.
Very good.
And if if anyone touches it, they will get electric shock, like
Very good.
number 2.
Yes, very good. So number 3 is the same concept as number 2. Water spill off on the appliances, you may get shock from it. All right. Last one. Number 5. Why is number 5 dangerous? Let me see if anyone. Yes, David. Good morning to you, David.
I think that number 5 is dangerous because the man is very near some wires, about 3 wires actually, and the thing that is holding the computer, the water bottle, and the plant, it looks like it can break at any moment or fall over at any moment. So it is dangerous.
Very good. So number 5 is dangerous because the wire goes through the man chair, and he's basically sitting over the wire, which is not safe because if there's any opening or any cut from the wire, he might get electrocuted. So thank you very much for the participation. Now let's do some booklet quiz, and we can show you more about using the electricity safely. So can I have wanted to tell me in the chat what game you want to play today? You can type in the chat. I saw crypto. What else? Any other game? Last week we played
Battle
crypto.
Battle Royale.
Battle Royale. There's no Battle Royale here. Oh, here's one. Okay. Let me see. Monster Bro, Battle Royale. Okay, we'll do a Monster Bro now. Next week we will go with Battle Royale. Okay. I'll just put 10 minutes. Sorry, 10 minutes will do. All right. Then we can actually start now. Okay. This is to test you on the using electricity safely, okay? I will share the link in the chat here. Remember, the homework is to record a video of telling us where does this electricity come from, and share with us 3 examples of using electricity safely at your house. Upload to the NCSM Facebook and tag me inside so that I can comment on your post. Do not send over in a Zalo chat because it may cause spam to other people, all right? Upload a video, record a video, upload it to NCNM Facebook page, Facebook group, then tag me inside. I will comment from there. I'll wait for another 1 more minute, then we will carry on with the game. All right, let's start. right, so congrats, Negan, for being the top. Okay, so all right, so with that, right, we have ended the lesson. Next week, there's no lesson, but there will be examination links sent to the Zalo group. This week is the week 9 of Unit 2. Next week is week 10, Unit 2. So there will be an examination link sent to the Zalo group to test you on the knowledge of what you have learned for the past 9 lessons, all right? So there won't be any lessons, so there won't be there will be no Zoom for next week, but there will be an examination link sent to the Zalo group for you to do the exam. The following week, on the lesson will resume on the following week after next, all right? So with that, please remember to do the homework that I given you, record the video and upload to NCSM Facebook. With that, I will end lesson today. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Take care.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye, take
Bye,
care.
teacher.
Bye-bye. Take care. See you
Bye.
next week.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Take care.
Bye, teacher.
Bye. Take care.
Bye-bye. Okay.